Hi, I thought I'd make a quick primer on Armswinger, especially the way it works in H3VR. I've seen some comments around Reddit asking how to use Armswinger. It doesn't seem to work smoothly for me. So here's a few tips. And by the way, Armswinger is definitely my favorite way to move around in first-person VR, certainly in H3VR, because it's the best implementation I've seen of it so far. The advantage of Armswinger, to me, the biggest advantage is how fine of a control I have over the way I move. I can go really fast if I want, or I can go really slow, like super slow and detailed. Much more detail than touchpad locomotion. So what's the trick to using Armswinger? Well, you don't want to be swinging your arms at your side like this. You don't want to be doing this. What you want to do is to imagine you're holding hiking sticks in front of you, like you're doing cross-country hiking, and that's how you do Armswinger. So basically you hold down the buttons for Armswinger and you just do this. And if you want to go fast, you don't have to quickly pump your arms and get tired. I mean, it works, as you see. But instead what you can do is just take wider swings. And that makes your running much smoother and less tiring, certainly, for your arms. So just do wider swings, and it works perfectly. So, what are the disadvantages of Armswinger? Well, you may not be able to use your weapons as effectively as you could with touchpad locomotion. For example, with touchpad, you can be, aiming your gun and smoothly sliding around at the same time. With Armswinger, that's not really an option. I mean, if you want, you can swing with one arm and hold your gun with the other. That would work. But it's not as easy with a long gun. And you can't really move around and aim at the same time. Now when you want to run with a long gun, with Armswinger, you can do this, but it looks a little goofy. So what you can do instead is just pump both arms together. You don't have to alternate, just do this. Pump both arms together, because in fact if you were holding a real gun and running, this is how it would work. You'd be like running like this. And yeah, it works perfectly well. Melee is also a little difficult with Armswinger. You can run up to someone and then use the weapon, the melee weapon, but you can't do the trick with touchpad locomotion of sliding around and just hitting someone as you're moving and using your avatar's momentum as a way to give more force. So here you run up and you do your attack. But anyway, I'm not really into running and gunning, so I usually use, I arm swing my way to my position, and then I take my shots, duck behind cover, etc. So it's not really a problem for me. To me, the fine control that Armswinger gives you far outweighs the disadvantage of running and gunning. So yeah, this is basically the trick to arm swinging in H3VR. Possibly in other games too. I don't know. I'm not sure how other games implement it, but in this one, this is how you do it: hiking sticks. Nope. It's really easy to very slowly move and very gradually. At the same time, I can very easily take long steps and basically run around. It's a pretty fast way to move.